Welcome to Let's Talk Football. Me and Simon Jordan are going to be talking about all the weekend's football talking points. And Simon, let's start with Man United. We'll start with a bit of comedy. What's going on with Erik Ten Hag? He says his Man United team are back because they beat Luton 1-0 at home. Proper deluded upside down at the divvy, isn't he?
Well, Manchester United are refusing to square the circle here. Manchester United are abysmal. And if I wanted to watch 11 absolute Burks make an absolute Burke of themselves on national TV, I'll just put Love Island on. Erik Ten Hag and Emirates, it's like a White Said Fred reunion. That's what you've got. And paying 90 million quid for Anthony is like paying 25 grand to Steve Bruce and Big Sam for a double lap dance, isn't it? And that's the way it works. The person to blame for this is Gary Neville. He always leaves himself in such an invidious position and refuses to bet the courage of his convictions.
Oh, stop going on about Gary Neville. You're obsessed with him. All you do is talk about him. Why? Because he's a successful businessman and he's actually kept this football club afloat. You jealous tomato-faced muppets.
Well, clearly, Jamie, you've refused to bet the courage of your convictions with that one. Me jealous of Gary Neville, that's like Pep Guardiola being jealous of Frank Lampard's and Steven Gerrard's coaching skills, isn't it? You've clearly left yourself in such an invidious position. I mean, listen, if I had the choice of being stuck in a lift with Gary Neville or jumping out of an aeroplane in just a pink thong, I'll get my bleeding parachute ready. If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a Gary Neville.
Well, from the most deluded manager in the Prem to the most deluded set of supporters in the Prem, Spursy are back and the big Ange bubble is burst, and I'm not talking about the big bubble under his very tight polo t-shirt. Get the right size, soft lad. He's playing a massive highline. Everyone's letting him get away with it because he's a big chubby Aussie guy who's very charming. If we had the other manager, we'd slate them. Simon, he says he's got to keep playing the same way. Do you think he's got a point?
Well, no, he hasn't got a point. He hasn't got a point in 2 games. That's a bleeding issue, you bleeding Burke. And that's the problem. Big Ange is his back line is higher than bleeding Afro Man. It's quite a problem. You go down to 9 men against Chelsea. You don't start playing 27 men up front, mate. This isn't Gretna away. This is why you haven't got a big job in 28 years, you big Aussie chubby Burke. Now, what I would say about Big Ange and the Spurs fans, I would just say that Spurs fans might need to calm down because they refuse to bet the courage of their convictions. You might want to cancel the bus parade because the season doesn't end in September, unfortunately. It ends in bleeding May, you Burks. Getting a little bit too excited. They've refused to bet the courage of their convictions and left themselves in such an invidious position. Square the circle here.
Well, Simon, I can't wait for Christmas because the new Shrek film's coming out. And speaking of the fella himself, Wayne Rooney, I mean, come on, what's going on there at Birmingham City? 5 games, 28 defeats and 14 draws. It's not acceptable. And our little potato head looks like he's on his way out quite early, Simon.
Well, that's right. I mean, they've gone from useless to bleeding useless. I mean, they couldn't score in a brothel, unlike Wayne, who's covered that base many times, especially with extra mature ladies. And then, will they give him his P45? Probably not, because he can't bleeding spell P45. Wayne Rooney needs to be able to square the circle at Birmingham City. But looking at his interviews, I don't think he could circle a bleeding circle, could he? And this is the issue you've got. The longest stint that Wayne Rooney's had in his professional career was the Shrek films that he did. He did about 25 of them. Bleeding, now there's one comes out every bleeding month, and that's what you've got. But listen, I think that the potato-headed Burke needs to sort himself out, isn't it? The bleeding potato-headed Burke.
Gary Neville's right. You and Jim White are shocking.
Well, that's right. And Jamie, don't forget to tell Gary Neville that he's a bleeding Burke who refuses to bet the courage of his convictions and almost leaves himself in an invidious position. Square the circle here.